Hi everyone, and welcome to KJ Mac Reviews. I am your host, Kelly McLearn. This is my new YouTube channel that I'm going to be talking about movies, and since one of my special interests is movies, I'm going to talk about any kinds of movies, from blockbuster movies that just came out in the theaters, to fun nostalgic movies growing up. So as you can see, I'm dressed up as Princess Fiona here, so we're going to do our very first movie review of the movie Shrek. So you're probably thinking, what is the story of Shrek? Well, I'll tell you. Once upon a time, there was an ogre named Shrek who lived in a swamp, and his swamp was perfect, and he liked it that way. Until one day, his life changed. Back where the kingdom of Duloc is, Lord Farquaad was ruler of a perfect kingdom of Duloc. He didn't want any freaks or weirdos in his kingdom. He wanted perfection. So you know what he did? He banished fairy tale creatures who lived in Castle Duloc and banished them over to Shrek's swamp. And he's like, what are you doing in my swamp? And one of the three little pigs was like, Lord Farquaad, he huffed and he puffed and he signed an eviction notice. And he was like, I'm not going to put up with this. I'm going to go over to Castle Duloc right now and get my swamp back. So that's what he did. Meanwhile, during that journey to go back to Castle Duloc, Shrek met a donkey named Donkey who loved to sing songs and loved waffles. And his life changed, and so he was like, okay, I'll take Donkey with me over to Castle Duloc to go talk to Lord Farquaad here. But meanwhile, Castle Duloc was having some issues of their own. So Lord Farquaad wanted to become king of Duloc, but in order for him to become king of Duloc, he had to marry a princess. So he decided he wanted to marry Princess Fiona, but she's trapped in a dragon's keep, surrounded by a fire-breathing dragon. He didn't want to go to the dragon's keep to rescue her, so instead he made a deal with Shrek. He's like, if you go on this quest for me, I'll give you back your swamp. And Shrek's like, okay, what do you want me to do? So Shrek and Donkey went to go rescue Princess Fiona from the dragon's keep and bring her over to Lord Farquaad to become his queen, and in return, we'll get a swamp back. So that's what happened. And so all of that was happening, and then Princess Fiona herself, she had a secret. Nobody, not even Lord Farquaad himself, knew that she was actually an ogre. She was cursed when she was little. That's why she was put in a dragon's keep. And she was scared and very sad because she felt like she was ugly and not beautiful because she was an ogre. By day, she was a princess. By night, an ogre. But during the journey, when Shrek rescued her, she started having feelings for Shrek. But she was scared that he didn't feel the same way. So instead, the next day, Fiona decided to marry Lord Farquaad that evening before sunset. So Shrek and Donkey, they went to go rescue Fiona from Lord Farquaad for marrying him. But then they learned about Fiona's secret, that she was an ogre herself. And Lord Farquaad was disgusted by that and almost wanted her back in the dungeon where she belonged, in the tower. And then suddenly, Donkey went to the rescue and rescued Shrek and Fiona by the fire-breathing dragon, and the fire-breathing dragon ate Lord Farquaad, and he was dead like that. And then Shrek and Fiona confessed that they both loved each other. And then true love's kiss happened. And then Fiona figured out her true form is she is an ogre. And she thought that she was supposed to be beautiful. And Shrek's like, but you are beautiful. The main reason of this story is never judge a book by its cover. And you're beautiful on the inside and out, no matter what other people think. So, you're probably thinking, Kelly, why are you dressed up like Princess Fiona? Well, I'll tell you. Well, with me dressed up as Princess Fiona, I kind of can relate to Princess Fiona because my ogre side is kind of like my autism. As you know, I am autistic and on the autism spectrum, and sometimes I feel like an outcast. I sometimes feel like I'm ugly or not good enough and stuff like that. Not unless until I meet the right kind of people and the right person one day. But I know that I am beautiful on the inside, the same as Princess Fiona too, and embrace it, just like her. So, the very first time I actually saw the movie Shrek, I was actually 5, 6 years old because the movie Shrek came out in 2001, and I went to go see it in theaters. I was like 5, 6 years old when I saw it, and it's a really good movie. I grew up watching it. And then I do this thing over at Flix Brewhouse. It is called a fanfest. And what you do at those events is you can dress up and go to movies, and whether it could be like a nostalgic movie from like 80s or thousands, and dress up, do fun trivia, eat fun food from the movie that's like a theme of it, and it's a lot of fun. I went to go do that with my bestie Jen, and we had a lot of fun when we saw Shrek in the theaters, because it's the perfect way to go see the movie Shrek is at a movie theater. So here are some behind the scenes secrets that I recently learned from the movie Shrek. 1. Did you know that Mike Myers, oh wait, I just forgot. I forgot to tell you who voiced who in the movie Shrek, so I'll give you a little recap of that real quick. So, Mike Myers is the voice of Shrek, and he was in a movie, So I Married an Axe-Murderer. He was also Austin Powers. He was also in Wayne's World, and also was in Saturday Night Live. Eddie Murphy is the role of Donkey. You might recognize him as the voice of Mushu from Mulan, but he was also in Beverly Hills Cop. He also did Saturday Night Live also, and he also did Beverly Hills Cop, which is another great funny movie. And then Princess Fiona, she is voiced by Cameron Diaz, who was also in Charlie's Angels, so she was in that. And then Lord Farquaad, he is voiced by John Lithgow from a show called Third Rock from the Sun, and was also in the movie Footloose with Kevin Bacon. So that is the whole cast of who is in the movie Shrek. Okay, back to where I was. Oh yes, the behind the scenes stories. I know a few of them. So one of the things I find fascinating is Mike Myers wasn't the original choice to play the role of Shrek. It was actually another Saturday Night Live actor named Chris Farley, who did a few screen tests. That was the original choice. But unfortunately, when he died in 1999, they had to redo the whole project of Shrek. And so they chose Mike Myers to play Shrek. And then the rest became history. Another cool fun fact about the movie Shrek is it is the first animated feature film to win an Academy Award. You know, the Oscars. So the Oscars during the years, they didn't have any Academy Award categories yet until it was like early 2000s that they finally put in a category for the Academy Awards, and Shrek was the very first Academy Award in its own category of Academy Awards for Best Animated Feature. So if it wasn't for Shrek for Best Animated Features, it would be all different. So there's enough about that. What was I thinking? Oh yes. Now we can talk a little bit about why Shrek is very iconic. Shrek is very iconic because there's a lot of good music in it that we all know from this day. Like All Star by Smash Mouth, I'm a Believer by the Monkees, and what made Shrek very popular is by the music and the soundtrack. And the soundtrack is awesome, it's very nostalgic, and it just brings you back to just a great time of your childhood if you grew up in the 2000s like I did. So yeah. Well, that pretty much wraps up for today. I want to thank you guys so much for this episode. I'm sorry if it's a little bit, I'm kind of new with all this, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys like it, please like, comment, and subscribe to KJ Mac Reviews channel. And I'll see you guys next time. And if you guys like this, we'll start doing more reviews. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye, everybody.